I need to know, Jonathan. I need to know. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do that. I need to know. You sent something in the chat. I need to know the answer.
What did I say?
You know what you said.
Was it the... Actually, don't know.
The part where you ascended, I need to know. I need to know the answer now.
Oh, that?
Yes.
That was, I understand now why people pee on the floor.
Please elaborate. I want to know why. Because I've been suffering this plague since I've gone to this school, and I need to understand. I can't go on any further without understanding.
It's not the type of thing I should talk about on air, I think. But, like, there are feasible mechanisms by which mistakes can be made.
What kind of... Okay. How? I need to know. Don't tell me that you went to the bathroom, peed on the floor, and was like, oh, this must be why. This can't be. This can't be.
Jonathan.
Oh, no.
Jonathan.
Double streaming, I'll leave it at that.
Double streaming.
What?
Let's start the podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to The Elevator, the podcast where we take elevator small talk and turn it into in-depth conversations, like where we find out how Jonathan achieved a new skill called double streaming. Yeah, I'm your host today, Ezekiel, and I'm here with...
Brittany.
I'm not introducing myself after that. I don't want to dox myself.
It's too late for that.
It's too late. It's
only been like 7 episodes.
This is crazy.
I mean, you're not in all of them, but
That's
you're the
true.
ones that matter.
Because I make them matter.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
Double matter, actually.
Double matter.
2 streams at the same time.
So
Anyways.
I want to know.
No, you don't.
All right, so Jonathan, how was your week after spring break?
I talked about that on the last podcast.
You did?
I'll talk about...
we can talk about anything, actually. That's what we're here
Let's
for.
talk about Blue Lock.
So,
That was the fire anime. Please watch it.
thanks for the ad. We're
You're
not getting
welcome.
paid by them.
No, I know.
So we actually are losing money right now.
That's
Because we
crazy.
wasted time for you to say that, and we're not getting paid.
I apologize. We could also talk about the enlightenment that I just had.
About the double stream?
No, about how if you ask,
We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Brittany, how was your week?
It was garbage. It was really bad.
That's not good.
I had an assignment due Tuesday morning. I was in DC from Tuesday night to Wednesday night. I had an essay due Wednesday morning. I had an exam Thursday and I had a piece set due Thursday.
That's rough.
It was really bad.
I'm sorry.
I think it's like the general consensus usually for people's weeks here.
And you also hurt your leg again.
That was before spring break though.
Oh, never mind.
But I went to urgent care on Monday.
Okay.
This past Monday.
Oh, okay. I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh yeah. So okay, I talked about last time I came back from Brazil, and as soon as I got back from Brazil, I had an exam on Wednesday, but I hadn't started studying for it yet. So then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I was just like, why don't I just don't sleep? And then that way I have more hours in the day to study. So what I did was, just to keep myself alive, I would sleep for 3 hours and wake up at like 3 in the morning and then start studying from 3 to about 8 o'clock before I went to classes. And I went to go take the test. It was open note, which I thought would be a good thing. And it was good for like the first 2 questions, but then the last question was something I'd never seen before. So I absolutely folded on it, but I think everyone else folded on it. So, you know, if everyone failed, then no one fails. That's how that works. So I did that. And after that, I had a physics piece to do. And I tried to do it, but then I realized something. I'm really bad at math. And apparently, once physics leaves the 803, it turns into just a straight math proof
Oh yeah,
class.
linear algebra is so fire, bro.
There's actually no linear algebra yet. That's 805.
No, the operators, that's linear algebra technically. It's just generalized
we
linear
don't-
algebra.
Yeah, anyways, I don't know how to do any of the math. So like my problem is that not even like that I don't understand the physics. It's just simply I'm inhibited by the fact that I was not like a math Olympiad winner, which apparently everybody in my physics class is, because they just do the it's just a simple math proof. If I use the stars and stripes theorem, I can calculate.
The Star Spangled Banner theorem does go crazy.
Yeah, which I didn't know. So
It
I'm
does
just over
go
here just
crazy.
writing random symbols on the paper, hoping that I actually understand. But I always get like all the way up to like the last step, and the last step you need like some like weird math trick in order to figure it out. And so I'm just like, how do I get from here to here? They're like, oh, it's simple. You know, and when I did Math Olympiad and won, I just used this trick here, and that's how I won, and you just use the same one here. And I'm like, okay, buddy, I don't know how that works. So yeah, that's what I did. And then it was Easter weekend, hence the pink shirt says Easter. So I went to the Easter Vigil, which is my favorite mass of the year. And just the normal Easter mass. Oh, it was super long. Back at my parish at home, it's usually a lot shorter because there's like no one getting baptized or confirmed. But I like it because it's just unique. You get to go outside, and then you come inside, and it's like all dark, and then there's candles, and then there's like a bunch of readings, and you go through from Genesis all the way up to the resurrection of Jesus. Great time. But this one was like extra special because a couple of my friends, or one of my friends, got baptized and confirmed into the church, which I thought was pretty cool. And there was nice food afterwards, so that's always a plus. And yeah, here I am today. That's what we're doing.
Tremendous.
Nice.
Huh.
Okay. So now back to what you were saying. So
yeah.
you have a certain theory, or a revelation that you had.
A revelation that you guys gave me. So over the past few weeks, I've realized just how incompetent I am at thinking about what impact my actions are going to have on other people, right? Mm-hmm. So there are so many things
I can tell
that
by
I
the way
did
you've been texting.
We don't have to go there, but yes, that's one example. There are so many instances where I've done something out of complete innocence, trying to achieve a certain goal, and then people interpreted it a very bad way, and then I got rolled.
It wasn't bad.
Not this one, the other ones.
There were other ones.
No, yeah, y'all know.
Well, we can find out right now.
No, I'll podcast if you want.
Okay.
But this specific example, I've been asking a lot of my friends to have one-on-one conversations with me, and I've also been asking some of my female friends to have one-on-one conversations with me.
How's that go down?
And I've just been informed that could potentially come across as me flirting, and that ruined my day.
So what you're telling me is that prior to us letting you know this, you were just going up to some ladies and be like, hey, me and you are friends, and I was thinking we could do a one-on-one.
Basically, something like that.
You wanna get a coffee or something?
No, it was
So that's what you were doing?
Basically, yeah.
And then you throw them a little smile and then walk away.
I mean, I generally do not smile that often when I'm just talking to people outside of group settings.
What did you think that interaction meant?
I thought it meant I was gonna get an opportunity
to have a one-on-one.
To
them alone.
To like get a better understanding of the human psyche by analyzing the information a person gives me about their real lived experiences.
You don't think there was another way to go about that may not have caused a little bit of confusion?
Well, the thing is, when you don't have one-on-one conversations with people, sometimes they're less willing to share information, and also sometimes other people in the conversation will cut them off, and so it makes it more difficult for them to share actual pertinent information, because people are kind of disrespectful like that, you know what I mean? So that's why I like having one-on-one conversations where I can really get to know the inner workings of someone's mind.
I actually totally agree. I think that I should have more one-on-ones on people. I find that
not women though.
Well, I would if it didn't have any implications.
Yes, unfortunately it does, as I've been informed.
Yeah, because I think all the times I've had one-on-one conversations with people, that's when I learn the most about them in the most limited amount of time. Because you can just once you've gotten past the weird small talk thing, then you can actually get into the root of who they are. You can ask questions like, what do you want and how are you going to achieve
What's
it?
your favorite Starburst flavor?
Yes, exactly like that.
That one's a banger one.
I heard today that a lot of people don't like the cherry one because it reminds them of medicine.
Yes! I keep hearing that.
I'm a big fan of the red ones. Not as much as the pink, of course.
Yes, okay, pink goes hard.
What's your favorite?
I love cherry always.
Yeah, the cherry ones are good. I don't know what people take. Well, I won't say any names. But some.
Reveal them.
I'm not gonna reveal.
Reveal this person to me. I'm about to beat him up.
No, because then Jane's gonna have to bleep it
Cut that out.
Our mysterious editor and tech guy, our very well loved compatriot, will have to bleep out many things, which he's gonna have to do, or he or she, it may or may not have to do,
Or they.
or they, or
Disease or all those ones.
We lost.
it's so good for us.
It's fine.
Bye.
Okay,
You know,
bye,
this
Jonathan.
was fun while it lasted. We'll see you guys.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Well, we actually won't see you ever again.
Yeah.
Twitter's gonna take down our account, but it's okay. It's okay. We all it was good. It's good while it lasted. But you know what I think, Jonathan?
What?
I think that the one-on-ones work for you. I mean, I don't think anything went wrong because you're the greatest.
Oh
wingman.
yeah, I forgot we were doing this too.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this discussion?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
This is gonna
Well,
be fantastic.
yeah. So basically, we were having this. How did this discussion come up? Oh yeah. So our friend Aiden, who's not here today because he bailed on us, and I don't know why you would do that.
traitor. That's crazy. The course 20s all betrayed us today. That's
did.
what I can't believe.
They did. They actually did. They I don't know what they're doing actually.
20-0.
Hopefully they're not
2 +
analyzing
0 is
biology
2.
right now.
2 minus 1 is 1. I don't know. The math ain't mathing on that one. The math ain't mathing on that one.
Yeah, so Aiden, basically, he has a problem where anytime he sees a series of words that are capitalized, he doesn't read the words, but rather only reads the first letter of every word. So, for example, if you saw the Central Intelligence Agency, he would just see SIA. He couldn't even see the words in between. The letter is just gone. It's just SIA. Now, sometimes when you put these letters together, it in fact comes up as a word that maybe should not be said. Maybe should be,
I understand why
I
you're laughing.
remember-
I understand
I
why you're
remember
laughing.
now. I
I'm sorry.
remember now.
I'm sorry I did that to everyone.
So one of these words, which I will not say, this guy, because he's the world's greatest wingman, did not know what it meant. And so our favorite one-on-one man here decided, let me just Google what this word is, and it changed his life forever, let's just say.
He got floored.
And
I did get floored.
and it was at that moment that I realized that I don't understand who I'm friends with. I just could not comprehend that the people I associate with would not understand these very simple things that you shouldn't look up. And then that's when I realized that's what makes you the perfect wingman. Because I think most of the people in our group are pretty bad wingmen, including myself. I think that I'd be actually quite awful. So then I started thinking about what makes a good wingman. And I think the key is that they come off as unassuming. And you're great at that.
I am.
So, yeah.
Part of it is because I am unassuming.
Yeah. You have any thoughts on that, Brittany? What do you think makes a good wingman?
I don't know, because I'm not a man, so I guess I can't really.
Wing woman, though. Is that not that say? It might be different. I don't know. It could be
I've never had to rely on a wing man or woman.
Dang, I forgot. She's cracked.
Well,
you're
here's the
cracked
thing,
too, because
okay.
you have a 100% ratio on your one-on-ones.
Bruh.
Well, here's the thing, though. I feel like wingmen work better whenever you're trying to, hook up with strangers. As
that
opposed
sounds
to,
accurate.
if you're friends first. That's different.
Yeah.
So I've never, gone down the route of, flirting with a stranger, having somebody else, hype me up. So, yeah, I guess that's my thing. Is, I think wingmen operate better when you're trying to hook up with a stranger.
I agree.
Yeah. Because, today I was going to talk about how Dave is the worst wingman, but I don't want to do that behind his back, so maybe we'll save that for another time. But
We're gonna have the women conversation again. That's
Yeah.
really funny.
I think it'd be more interesting if Aiden's here.
No, it would be.
Yeah, because Aiden thinks he's the best, but unfortunately I don't think that's true. But anyways, we have a couple news articles that our newsman Aiden sent us, so maybe we should get into those.
Oh, Aiden sent these?
Yeah, I have no idea what these are. He sent them to me in the chats. Maybe it was only for me, but I don't I'm sending it to
Oh,
him.
wait, the car's dressed up for Easter too. That's crazy. We can continue.
Alright, would the random person behind the camera like to read, or should someone else read?
I can read. I'm close.
Okay, should we move the...
They can probably recognize your voice.
whose voice?
Never mind.
Should we move one of these mics up?
Oh.
Okay, speak loud, mystery man,
Yes.
woman, person behind the camera.
Person, place,
Sure.
thing. Idea.
So, there's a new form of keyless car theft that works in under 2 minutes.
Okay.
As car owners grow hip to one form of... what the heck? No, they didn't... They messed up. They said as car owners grow hip to one form of
That's like how you would say it, not like how you would write
We
it.
lost.
I don't know.
Yeah, this writer forgot.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Okay, to be fair, I read that and actually did not realize what was wrong the first time.
Wait, I don't know what they're saying. Anyway. Yes.
Anyways,
Yeah, so it seems like
London man. Oh, that's you, Jan.
no,
That's you. You're the
Who's
one.
that?
Oh,
Who's
my
the
bad.
London man?
Sorry.
no,
My
it's
bad.
chill. It says the case of the malfunctioning can. They began by poring over the MT telematics system that Toyota uses to track down vehicle anomalies known as DTCs. And it turned out his vehicles recorded many DTCs around the time of theft. Error codes show that communication had been lost between the controller area network.
Why did Aiden send this? Like,
So it seems like
seems like Aiden's trying to break into
Wait a
cars.
So it seems like there's some security system that can you can just breach by making a glitch. And so the headlight lost contact with the can,
What is the
'Cause
can?
the central controller area network. So it's the
What is a
controller.
controller area network?
I'm
It's
pretty sure it just controls all the stuff in the car. You see all this? You see all this stuff?
The
Well, what is a
diagram.
network? What is a network?
That's a network. You see like how there's branches, then they connect.
Right, but how would this diagram control the car?
That
Because there's
diagram-
wires. There's wires to each of those
Oh,
components
so
from
then the
the
network
CPU.
is an actual set of wires.
Yes.
But how do those wires actually control the car, though?
Aren't you a
Different
core
li-
6?
I'm barely a core 6.
You're
calm
supposed
down.
to know this stuff.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm 6'14". Leave me alone.
You tell me you don't do this in
It's
6
like a
months?
certain
No,
pattern.
not all.
But isn't it like a certain pattern of electrical signals mean something?
Probably. Wait, how do electrical signals even work?
Oh, he can tell you about that.
Like, what do you mean? There are different types of electrical signals: analog, digital.
So like one thing that doesn't make sense, right? You see the little circuits in 802, and they're like, oh,
Uh-huh.
when the current is always going around. How do you control the currents that it only goes at certain times?
You just turn on and off the switch.
But you have to do that manually. How do you do
No,
that
you
not
don't.
manually?
You use semiconductors. You use something called a transistor. Specifically, right now we use MOSFETs made of silicon.
Mm-hmm.
MOSFET is a metal oxide semiconductor.
You know this too?
Mhm.
I'm so sad. Why am I the only one who doesn't know?
I don't know, because you should know this.
This is crazy.
But basically, how it simply, without going into the depths of quantum physics, the way a semiconductor works is that normally they sort of act like. So there's two different types of things. There's metals and insulators. So a metal, the conduction band is in the same place as the Fermi energy, meaning that anytime you put a voltage across it, there's going to be current going through because there are a bunch of carriers of electrons. And an insulator means that the Fermi level is really, really low in comparison to the conduction band. Or more specifically, the conduction band, the difference between the conduction band and the valence band, I said this wrong. Not the Fermi, the valence and the conduction bands. The difference between the valence and the conduction bands in a piece of metal, a conductor, is in the same place. Meaning that if you put a voltage across it, current travels through.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have an insulator, the gap between the valence band and the conduction band is really large. Meaning that it's really hard to get the electrons to get from here, the valence band, to jump all the way up here. Which means that its current won't go through if you apply voltage to it. A semiconductor has a band gap somewhere in the middle, right? So you need to apply a certain amount of energy to get these conductors, or these these carriers of electricity into the conduction band. And we do
That's
things.
your band, right?
Yeah, it's my band.
Yeah.
That's a bad band name. The conduction band.
No, that's fire. What do you? Sorry. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm getting a little bit nuanced here.
Mhm.
But
And these are
basically,
inductions.
Proof by induction.
that's not what I meant. But anyways, besides the point. Basically, how they work is that we add carriers to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we put one carrier which has very little carriers, and one of them that has a lot of carriers next to each other.
Mhm.
And when something has more of something and then is connected to something that's less of something, a process called diffusion occurs. And these carriers diffuse into the low concentration areas.
Why though? Because if you think about it, right,
Okay,
it's not
yeah.
intuitive that it would work like that. Because with people, right, you have a bunch of people over here and a smaller group over here.
Yeah, it actually does work. It does
Well,
work.
people are different.
No, it does work with people as well. If you have a large group of people clustered, say we're in this room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's compacted with a bunch of people, right?
Mhm.
And then you open up this entire wall, and then there's an even larger space outside. The people bumping against each other will force them outward, and so they're going to diffuse into the lower
Well, if they're listening
concentration
to a hype
area.
song in the middle of this room and they want to get it as close as possible.
Well, you can actually do that with electrons. You can put like some kind of voltage source, and they will keep them together. But
Yeah.
so basically, and if for example you open a small door to the other side, it's gonna be hard for them to get through. That's called resistance, right? So it's hard for them to get through because there's less ability for them to do that. But besides the point, basically there's a process called diffusion, which usually you learn about in high school, right? And the way a transistor works is that we can change an energy barrier between two different sections. The energy barrier is like this wall. It prevents the carriers from traveling through. But if we were to lower that wall, diffusion occurs. And so we can do this by applying a voltage to the transistor body. And that allows the wall to decrease or to disappear entirely, and then it diffuses. So this is a switch, basically. So when we don't have any voltage there, the things are just going to stay where they are because they can't move. There's a wall. They're just stuck in here in this little room, bouncing around, doing their little thing. They're drifting around, there's collisions and stuff. And then if you apply a voltage, now the thing turns on, and we can move around.
Okay, but that's the chicken or the egg. Because you need a voltage source in order to do the switch automatically. But how do you switch that voltage source automatically? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That way you just use a computer. So basically like...
Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating, I don't count that.
So what answer are you looking for then?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think the answer is probably too complicated to answer here. I'd probably have to go do my own research about like how computers work and stuff like that.
Okay, so my explanation of semiconductors was not satisfactory to understand how the switch works.
It actually did not make any sense to me. I lost, I immediately lost.
The
When you started talking about the Fermi stuff, I fell.
The too long didn't read. There are different substances that do different things, right? Do you know
That's
at least a
true.
little bit of
How
chemistry?
did I know that?
Huh?
How did I know that?
That different substances do different things?
Yeah.
Well, for example, this piece of paper, if you light it on fire, it's going to burn. Whereas if you were to light a piece of concrete on the sidewalk on fire, it wouldn't
would not
burn.
burn.
How do you know? Did you try it?
This guy, this.
You didn't try it. You didn't try it.
How are you so successful with your one-on-ones? I need to know because I'm not like this. I just accept premises.
No.
Whatever people say, I'm just like, okay.
People enjoy this, I swear.
Different materials have different properties.
Okay, fine. We'll take that as a premise, as an axiom, if you will.
It is an axiom of how our
Anyway.
It's
universe
literally
works.
a fact. It's different properties.
Okay, whatever. Go ahead.
But so what Ezekiel was saying about like how you decide which ones do which things. Metals are good conductors in that because the valence and conduction bands are essentially the same thing, there's no need for like extra energy to be applied to this metal in order to boost the electrons up because the electrons are already where they need to be in order to facilitate electrical conduction.
Yes.
But with insulators, because there's such a big gap between the conduction band and the valence
He's lost
band.
already.
I lost, yeah.
With
What are
metals,
valence and conduction bands?
Aren't you in chemistry right now? This can't be. This can't be. You're
it
the only
really
one who's taking
can't. It
chemistry.
really can't.
No.
The valence band is the outermost
Shell.
electron shell of
Why are you calling it a band? It's a shell.
He's so right.
I'm based. They call it a shell. They call it. And what's a
Okay, would
conduction
you
band?
care if I say it as a shell?
Yes.
No. Oh. Because I didn't know it was a band.
That's just the
It's a-
term.
it's a
It's not
representation.
literally the electrons are in a
No,
line
I'm
like
aware,
this.
but like they call it a valence shell in chemistry.
Because they're stupid. No one likes chemistry.
That's not my fault. Sorry. Anyways, what's a conduction band?
The conduction band is the region.
It's the energy level that electrons can that the electrons have like detached from the atom and can flow.
Yeah.
Huh?
They're like they become free electrons. Because before they're like too close
Oh,
to
so
the.
it's not even a shell. It's just out there.
That's why we call them bands.
I
Because
see.
it's a certain energy band that you have to be above.
Oh, okay. No, wait. This
Yeah,
actually makes
yeah.
sense. Okay, understood. Continue.
So do you understand like the metal? What
Maybe.
metals do?
Yes.
So with insulators, so like non-metals, the conduction band and the valence shell, or however you want me to call it, is the difference is so large that there's no way for the electrons from the valence shell to be able to get to
The conduction
this
bands,
energy
they can start
level.
So, like,
moving around.
Yeah, technically you could apply enough energy to make it jump up, but it would destroy the insulator in the process.
Yeah.
So there's no conduction.
I see.
Whereas with semiconductors, the it's like at an intermediary energy level where the electrons from the valence shell are able to reach the conduction band, but not freely as in metals, hence why you need to apply energy in order to get them there.
I understand.
And to make it easier to do that, we apply even more electrons. This is called doping. So we can add
Yeah.
more electrons to it, so there's more things to flow. And then it acts more like a metal instead of an insulator. But the problem is we don't want it to always flow because we obviously want a switch that can turn on and off.
So that's the computer.
And so yeah, we have a
That's where we cheat.
yeah, we have a computer that creates like a voltage source,
Okay.
like a digital voltage source.
Okay.
So like this thing, this car thing, like if you wanted to like turn on the lights or something, it would like the computer would like say you click a button, that button sends when you say there's like a battery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say like you press a button, that thing completes the circuit, and then that will
Yes,
send.
I understand how that works, but what if you like wanted to be like automatic? Like you didn't have to push anything; it would still turn
Well,
on.
so like with a MOSFET, for example, the MOSFET turns on whenever the gate source reaches a certain
Why do
voltage.
you know this?
Because I took a circuits class last
Wait, we
semester.
can do this in my circuits class. This is crazy.
Oh, she better. That's crazy.
No, that's anyway. But how a MOSFET might do what you're thinking of,
What's a
where
MOSFET?
I forget what it stands for,
It's a
but
metal oxide semiconductor something transistor.
it's a type of transistor, like what Ezekiel was
Okay,
talking about.
understood.
So what a MOSFET does is there's a gate, there's a source, and there's an emitter.
Mm-hmm.
So what regulates the MOSFET being on or off is the gate. So for an N-channel MOSFET, if the gate
Oh, I like that you parameterized it by N. That made me very
well,
happy.
that's
no,
what
that's a very
Ezekiel was
specific,
talking
yeah.
about with doping. So an N-channel MOSFET has
You covered like my entire class.
That's crazy.
so there's an N-channel and there's a P-channel,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
which
never mind.
correlate
It's not a parameter.
which correlate to the
doping
types
levels.
of doping. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So for an N-channel MOSFET, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe an N-channel MOSFET, the MOSFET turns on whenever the gate reaches, I think at least 1.2 volts or something like that.
Like yeah.
And so
Sort of.
once the voltage at the gate reaches that point, the MOSFET turns on, and then the voltage drop across the MOSFET is no longer zero, and so current is allowed to run.
Look at this guy, he's zoned out immediately.
No, I did. Yeah. It's
Wait,
okay.
how are you
But
so
that-
Wait, I don't understand how you do well in your classes. I can't comprehend.
Because my classes are.
He's gonna say interesting. This can't be.
Yeah.
This can't be.
You read my mind. There's no way. No, that's actually like really interesting. The problem is I'm not familiar enough with the fundamentals to keep track of everything, and when you're not familiar with the fundamentals, it's easy to get like lost in like what's happening.
That's true. I was just like, because your concern was like, well, how do I make it do it automatically? And a MOSFET would do it
Do it
automatically
automatically.
because it's voltage controlled and not switch controlled.
But
Yes.
like, then you have to like run a voltage that is also like automatic. So how do you do that?
What do you mean by
Like,
that?
if it's
What do
like-
you mean if a voltage is automatic? What do you mean by that?
Like a battery automatically has like voltage.
Yes, but like, what if you want to like automatically turn on or off? That would still be a computer.
If you want to automatically on or off?
Like, what if I wanted a voltage source that turned on and off automatically?
like a capacitor?
That would be a capacitor, low key, but that's not exactly what I'm saying. Like on off again. That's what I'm saying.
you would have to like put it through an oscillator. Where
Yeah, you create a voltage source that oscillates.
Oh, inductors? Inductors?
No.
I like that.
no, it's
No.
different.
Like you just like produce a square wave. Like
Yeah.
Man said draw a square and we're done. There's
that's
no
actually what
way.
we do.
Ha!
Yeah, that's what
We
we
can
did
take
last
63000 and find out more.
But no, if you wanted to do that, then you'd have to input a square wave
Oh,
voltage source.
okay.
Anyways, that's enough of that. I don't think I really care about the rest of this article, to be fair.
It's pretty stupid, to be honest.
Oh no! I
Alright.
want to find out how we're gonna get robbed. It's too
Well, I
late.
was more concerned about how I could rob someone, but that's okay.
Oh no! It's
Next
a
one.
DEI all over again. There's no way.
What is this? What is Aiden
Aiden.
sending me?
My boyfriend's parents pay for everything. It makes me uncomfortable.
Oh,
Like
11
getting a
minute
boyfriend.
listen. 11-minute listen. Wait, what?
I said
We're not
getting
doing
a
11 minute
boyfriend.
listen. We're just gonna do a quick summary.
We're getting new parents.
That's crazy.
All right, mystery person behind the camera.
Yeah.
Would you,
So,
11-minute lesson though.
We're not doing 11-minute
Why
list.
not?
We spent enough time on semiconductor physics, more than the audience
That's
wanted.
Cool. That's cool. Need some really good advice? Look no further than Dear Life.
Skip.
Why can't you read that?
Just start the
Yeah, start the
whatever.
meeting. Start the meeting.
But like, I think we gotta read.
What is this?
No.
This can't be. Close it. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I love my boyfriend's parents. They're the
That's
kind
nice.
of people you meet and think there's no way they're like
See,
this.
that's what the problem is right there. They've already folded.
You
Why?
meeting your boyfriend's parents?
No, continue.
All the time. Except they are. They wake up every day at 4:30 a.m. so they can
Okay,
drink coffee
peace.
and garden before they leave for work.
Okay.
They're kind, passionate, generous people and have treated me like family since day one.
Nice.
I know many people will think it's ridiculous to have any complaints about my situation, but here it is. They're way too nice. It seems how to get out. We live
Oh shoot, you're right.
My bad.
so
Like it's reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's reversed.
yeah.
Okay, continue.
So we live in different states, and when they come to visit, they stay for a week or two, and they pay for everything.
Okay.
Literally everything. Anything we do, anywhere
Okay.
we go, anything I even think about buying, they somehow sense it and beat me to it.
Okay.
They once found my shopping list while I was out, and they did my shopping for me. They picked up everything, from the groceries right down to the very personal items I would have really preferred they left alone.
No.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with
bestie.
But I have no idea how to politely say I am a real adult with a real adult job, and I would like to buy my own sandwich at lunch today.
Okay.
My boyfriend fundamentally doesn't understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
He says things like, your parents buy us stuff too. Sure, they send gifts on holidays, they might pick up the tab at dinner, but this feels very different.
Okay, so stop there. Before we read the expert answer, let's see what you guys think.
That is a legitimate thing to complain about.
You
If
think
you're
so?
picking up their personal shopping list and shopping for them, that's
Okay,
a bit of
this-
overstepping. I
Okay,
think.
besides, I think we can all agree. I think the parents are doing a bit much. But that's not what the problem is. The person's asking how do they address the situation, and what would you tell them if you had to tell them? Like,
I'd just say like, hey, I appreciate y'all are being so nice, but you're encroaching a little bit too much on territory that I prefer you not to encroach on.
Okay, do you think that?
It can be phrased better.
Do you think that answer you just came up with, just right now, warranted such distress that you had to go online and post on NPR an entire note to ask someone else to come up with that solution?
Yes.
You're telling me that you could?
Yes.
Okay, Brittany, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's a little much for them to be doing all that. I would really want to figure out like why they feel the need to be doing that though. So my question would probably be more so like, I appreciate you like helping me out in this way, but I don't feel like it's needed for me, and I want to know like why you continue
Why? Wow.
to like. I mean, yeah, because it doesn't really, if you tell them I don't really want you to do this anymore, and they might not understand why you don't want it to be like that, and maybe they think it'll be offensive to them. But if you like ask them why do you keep doing it, then you can like have a discussion about what is actually like going on.
She actually thought about this. It's crazy. I'm about to leave again.
See,
I'm not
I think
leaving
it's just
again.
because the parents were like, dang, my son, there was no chance my son was getting a girlfriend, so I gotta make sure that they don't leave. That's what I think was going on here. They're like, that's why the boyfriend's like, yeah, no, I don't see anything wrong with this. I think it's perfectly normal. His parents are like, listen, buddy,
You know
if
what
you
I
mess
was
this up, it's over for you.
My question is if they're also paying for his stuff too.
Probably.
I would assume, yeah.
I assume so, yeah.
I think it sounds like mutual dates, like whenever they're doing like anything mutual.
Yeah. I don't think like inherently what they're doing is wrong. I think that like if it makes you feel uncomfortable, she should just let them know like, you don't have to do all this. But the fact that she said the words like, I'm a real adult with a real job and I can buy my own, that's like so much. Like, okay,
She's
buddy,
just venting a little bit, I
sure,
think.
you can pay for your own sandwich. I bet you can open your own door too. But you know what? If someone wants to open the door for you, it's fine. Like if you feel uncomfortable, you just let them know and say, hey, just drop the door on my face and I'll walk through myself. So I don't know like what she's complaining
okay?
about. But it seems like this guy has something.
I feel
to
like
say.
I feel like you may be like referring to something else. Do you
No,
have
I'm
any
just-
experience with someone?
I don't have any experience with that. I'm just saying that like that seems like a bit much. Like, oh, I could buy my own sandwich. Okay, buddy, congrats. You can buy your own sandwich. Wow, you're a grown adult. It's amazing. Like obviously they know you can pay for your own sandwich. That's not why they're doing it. But anyways,
Yeah.
well, you have anything to say? The person behind the camera.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like I would just put like a PS5 in the cart. And
Yeah.
yeah.
You see, this is how you should be thinking. This person comes, oh, I can buy my own sandwich. But I bet you can't buy your own computer. You might as well put that in there too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to see what the expert has to say because
Yeah.
clearly I'm not an expert. So that's what
Okay. I would say don't always assume that other people's attitudes towards money are the same as your own.
Wow.
True.
That's
The fact
good.
that someone wants to cover something for you does not mean they're trying to assert that they're more of an adult and you are some.
Wait,
small-
this is actually a base person.
Yeah.
I was not expecting
This
this.
is like a common sense statement. It's okay if you feel that way. But it's not
Your
true.
face. Your face.
Continue,
Never
continue.
mind. Don't worry about it.
Continue.
So try to interrogate where that comes from. You mentioned his parents come in from out of state and stay with you for 2 weeks, which in my book is a really long period of time to have
That is a
contact.
2 weeks, a long time.
There might be an element of his parents feeling like, look, we're saving all this money on a hotel, at least we can do is pay for everything. Maybe they don't want to be a burden, so covering everything is a way to compensate. for
I
it.
totally agree. I got a side note before you continue. For example, say I was gonna go stay at a relative's house, like in a different state or something. I would 100% try and pay for as much as I possibly could because they're giving me hospitality. I'm living in their house. I'm encroaching on their space, and that can be really annoying. You know what they say, fish and guests stink within 3 days. So I can definitely see okay, I want to compensate for the fact that I'm taking up your time and space and privacy. So maybe you want to do with money, but I think a good way to do this maybe help clean around the house, make sure that the way you left things are the way you came in was the way it leaves. Just simple things like that. But if you want to pay for the stuff, say you were gonna pay for a hotel instead, this person said here, and you instead pay for their for food or you cook for them, I think that's completely reasonable. I don't see why you get mad at that, but continue.
That's fair enough.
I wonder how often they stay. Is this a once a year thing, and so they stay for 2 weeks since it's once a year, or is this an every quarter thing? Is this every 6
They should have
months?
specified that because if it was every other week for 2 weeks,
That would
then
be...
I can see how they make you uncomfortable. But if it's once every quarter, that's pushing it. But once every half year, every semi-annually, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else really. They're just saying you should tell them don't just have a conversation with them about it.
Wow. Imagine not being able to think of that on your own because
Yeah.
you're a grown adult who needs other people online to
Wow.
tell you how to
You know what's
approach
crazy?
normal adult
I'm
things.
saying grown adult. I didn't think of any of this.
You didn't think of any. Well, that's because that's you.
That is me.
You wrote this actually.
I wrote that?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I thought that after that.
No, he said course 14, you take the money.
He said, well, economically, this is actually a viable solution for me.
No, wait. Low key, if they just gave me that money for that week, I'd be fine. If they just gave me
It's for
money
2 weeks actually.
For 2 weeks,
Mhm.
I'd be fine.
You don't have to pay for grocery for 2
Wait,
weeks.
did I talk about the take with money and gifts?
You do not. You can do that while Jay's bringing up the next one.
Gifts are trash, give me money.
You've been eating this gift the entire time you've been on this podcast. Really, I think it's time you take it back. I need you to take back every Starburst that he ate, every chocolate he ate, every Airhead he ate. I need you to get it back.
It's a little bit too late for that, but what I mean is...
What do you mean by that?
Okay, hang on. Brittany,
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate this gift. It took a lot of consideration for you to think to bring me some candy. And I do like candy.
This can't be
So
your
thank you very
prefacing.
much. However, if you had given me money, I would have actually been better off as a human being. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate your gift. Your gift is great. It was very thoughtful. But just
This can't be.
I took 1401, guys. Money is better. It's like when you think about inflation, because this is inflation resistant, money is not. But other than that,
How do you get these one-on-ones? I need to know you have all the hacks. I've never seen someone like this.
I'm
I have to
sorry.
say, though-
Wait, I hope you're not offended.
No.
I actually do really appreciate your gift.
I have to
It's
say
very
though,
thoughtful.
the card that she wrote me for my birthday was really heartfelt, and I actually appreciate it.
Oh yeah, except cards. Cards are fire.
Yeah, I didn't realize cards were fire until recently. I was like, wait a second, this is worth more than money. I like it, but
I love cards. I keep all my cards.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, money's nice. Money's nice, but
I would agree. I just think, depending on the context, giving/getting money is a little tacky. I don't know how y'all's families did gifts like that, but we always were taught that money is a really tacky gift to give
mhm.
because you don't really need a lot of thought to put in order to give cash. You just like take the money out of your wallet and give it to them.
Okay.
But if you buy them something tangible,
Jaden, person behind the camera, number 3. Can you pull up the Trey Rags video that says like when they give you money for a price or something like that? It'll come up. I forget the exact name.
Okay, anyways, go ahead.
So yeah, they always said don't go to money as like your first instinct. Try and like figure out what tangible thing that they would like, because that would mean a lot more to them than just giving money.
That is correct. And that is.
However, I will agree that like money is a more liquid asset. Like you can use it for whatever you want versus being stuck in whatever you get.
Exactly.
So I do agree, but like depending on the context, giving cash is like, at least in my opinion, a little.
Well, y'all know next birthday, if you don't give me money, it's over. That's all I'm saying.
This is Jonathan. Click this video.
Wait, let me make sure my audio is good.
No, that's a good point. That's what everybody says when I bring this up to them. Like, the act of getting a gift does have value with it because it shows that the person knows you and they care about you enough to like think about what you like and get you something that you actually will appreciate. The
only families I know that only give cash as gifts are my Mexican friends. They get like upwards of $1,000 because that's all they get. They only get cash because all their family just like pitches in like $50, $100, maybe more dollars per. So they just get like this giant mountain of money.
That's kind of base.
That's actually kind of base.
I'm a little jealous.
I mean, that's what my family does as well.
What can I say, guys? I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Will it be
This is you.
This is me?
Yeah, this is you.
There we go.
They should be able to hear this if you turn up the volume.
I would never wear a hat that ugly.
Wait, turn up the YouTube
They
volume.
can hear it. They can hear it.
I never wear a hoodie that ugly. That's all I'm saying.
That's not a hoodie. Don't do that.
Wait, it's not. Wait, what is it? Did I fail? I failed.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. I didn't even. Just a little
Oh,
something.
it's a durag. My bad.
Thank you.
Of course,
Thank
right?
you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Hey, Cuzzo. What's up, Cuzzo? Time to open up my card, man. Open up mine.
Okay.
Hey, it's the same card as your mom's, but I was on special.
Okay.
This is you.
What you doing? I don't think he read it though. I wrote like a long.
I read it. Where's the money?
What you mean? The money? We talking about, right?
Where's the money though?
I mean, I ain't putting no money in it, you know, because you know how it is, man.
Where's the money?
The economy been rough, man. I just ain't.
Okay.
Where's
Give me the money.
Yo,
Hey, yo.
I know you're not doing all this. Like, bro, like, we family, bro. Like, bro, like, come on, cuz.
Where's the money? I know you didn't just show up a card, so where's the money?
Man, today not even about that, bro. Like, it's the Lord's Day, man.
Jiggy, you about to spend his birthday with him.
Oh!
Where's the money?
I just don't have it. Like, it's just
Give
like,
me my money, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Bro.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. Like, I just,
Bro. You told me you couldn't get
bro, I don't
I know
have
you
it.
got a wallet on you. I know you got money in your wallet, bro. I know you got money in your wallet, bro.
Bro,
You can't give me nothing.
I don't.
Nothing?
I don't, bro. Like, I swear, bro, on my son, bro. I don't have no money on me.
Cash at me. Cash at
Come
me.
on, yo.
I cashed at you last month. I know you got cash at me. Cash at me.
On, man. Like, you really about
Cash at me.
bro.
Cash at me.
Bro. Alright, nigga. Okay. Yeah, I got bills this month, nigga. Like, then you gonna do that to your little cousins, bro?
It's been a month without lights.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Alright, you got it. I'm gonna send it to you. Here, nigga. This is what you want. This is what you want here. Take it. Take it, bro. There's no, we not family no more.
Okay.
Nah.
Anybody else got anything else?
Nah, I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. Come on, don't leave. Forget this nigga, bro. Forget him.
Okay.
That's you. That's you.
I do have to say, that line about legs playing the near the low was kind of hard. That was kind of a hard line. That was kind of a hard line.
All right, third news article. This one I chose, but like if it's bad, don't blame me.
This one.
Oh, yeah. That was it.
Okay, that's good.
I'd blame the society.
Yeah, because they recommended me the bad article.
I don't have the premium news.
That's tough.
Oh.
Stepping as driver.
Yeah.
So
So
this?
we're not gonna do the whole article anyway. So
This is like the Ubu Java. They became Ubu Javas.
Oh, what a dog food.
Ubu Javas.
What are you talking about?
You don't know that meme?
No.
I want to get that Ubu Java.
Explain.
It's a
Oh
Fine,
no,
fine.
he's like being interviewed, right?
Yeah.
I
Like
know
Ubu
what you're
Java.
talking about.
Ubu Java. Look up Ubu Java. Not now.
He's like either high or drunk out of his mind, so he like can't
Okay.
speak right.
All right.
So what happened when Uber CEO started driving for Uber? So
Let's
Adara.
say Ubu.
No, just say
Press as
it's
Ubu.
okay.
I said Ubu.
Yeah, press as Ubu. Because if we say Uber, they're going to cancel us. So we can
No,
say
they-
Ubu.
What are you saying?
Ubu.
Just
Ubu
say
Java.
wording.
Okay. Yeah. What happened when Uber CEO started driving for Uber? Dara Carswell.
I know someone in Dara.
What?
I know someone in Dara. That's cool.
Oh, it's, yeah, me too.
Castro shop.
Wait.
They happen to be of darker skin color.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. I know.
Are they freshmen?
No.
No? I failed.
No.
That's okay.
No way.
Anyway, yeah, Dara and other executives realized drivers' complaints were valid. They revamped the app, helping Uber attract workers and extend its lead on Lyft. Drivers' pay remains a sticking point. Okay, so this is interesting actually.
Okay.
After 5 years running Uber, he got behind the wheel in September to peep it out, I guess.
Okay.
And so he was using a gray Model Y Tesla just to flex. Right? He made dozens of trips as a ride-share driver in the following months, ferrying people around the hills of San Francisco. Okay, privilege. While taking a customer to the airport one evening, he had to ignore frantic phone calls from his chief legal officer, who was trying to alert him that a hacker had breached Uber's network. Another trip took him across the Bay Bridge to Oakland, and he swore to never do it again after getting stuck in rush hour traffic back to the city. Oakland is the hood, by the way.
Really?
It's kinda-
Oh, you've
it's
been
kinda-
there.
Yeah. No, I avoided that. I avoided that. I was told not to go.
Oh, you knew. You knew.
Yeah, we passed by it.
You got the inside intel.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was the latest experiment in the CEO's year-long journey to reinvent driving on Uber. Along the way, he struggled to sign up as a driver, saw firsthand something called tip baiting, and was punished by the app for rejecting trips. Oh, surprisingly hard to take was the rudeness of some Uber rides.
Wait, what's tip baiting?
Tip baiting is whenever you put a tip before the ride starts, and once the ride's done, you take away the tip.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's mad smart. Because like sometimes I'm nervous. I'm like, oh man, if I give a bad tip, they're gonna just like crash me off the bridge.
Oh.
But now I can just put a big tip and then take it away.
I don't tip until after the ride's
I
done.
also don't tip until after.
Actually, yes,
'cause
same.
then, yeah.
I actually rarely use Uber ever. I'm not really leaving my dorm
Use a
very
team.
much.
Use a team.
No, I just don't leave.
T
my
superior. T for the
Okay.
win.
dorm. Nice.
But,
Wait, do they call it a T because the track's like crossed just like a T? No. Okay, so. Anyways.
yeah, Mr. K's moonlighting was part of a campaign by him and his lieutenants to better understand and improve Uber's user experience for drivers, whose scarcity had become a critical challenge for the company after they opened from COVID-19 lockdowns. It marked a sharp turn for the company. Yeah, so that seems cool though. They faced a labor shortage, and Lyft was slower to introduce driver-friendly features and lost market share to Uber. And its stock valuation declined by billions of dollars. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty much it.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Me?
Yeah.
The economics of Uber is super interesting.
We can talk about that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the CEO going?
He should have been doing that already.
Mm,
He should have been doing that for a long time.
You mean like actually be a driver?
Mm-hmm.
Why
Like,
do you think
you
so?
have to test the product, or like some product you might
You
be testing.
paid other people to test it for him.
But then they threw. So sometimes you gotta do things yourself. You know? But-
yeah, I definitely agree. I think like it's a good idea to like test your product and see what it's
Mhm.
like. You know, like people back in the day when they used to like command armies and stuff. Like a good commander would like go in with the troops. You know, know what it's actually like to be a troop. And, you know, this guy did that.
No, the good
People
commanders
experience.
don't, because then they don't die.
Well, that's true. But also like, you don't know what your like troops and like the people are actually capable of unless you like go down yourself.
Oh,
So there's like a balance.
Ooh.
Like obviously like once you've like figured it out, you should definitely go back to safety so you don't die.
Yes, because if you die, it's actually like worse than if anybody else dies. Because you're
Yes.
Superman.
See, you would like Attack on Titan. They have this like entire debate about like whether you let like the captain die or not. Very realistic stuff. I think you'd like it. Actually, I don't know if you would like it.
No, I would.
You would.
I think I'd be scared because like there's a lot of violence.
The thing is though, like you get desensitized to it because like you watch the first episode and like it messes you up.
I don't know if I want to be desensitized to it.
Well, you're not desensitized to like real life violence. You're desensitized to like the type of violence you see in the show, which is not real violence because it's like that would never happen in real life. Because if it happened in real life, it's over.
I'd win. I'd win Attack on Titan.
You wouldn't win. You'd actually
wouldn't.
no. You would die.
I'd win.
How would you win? By dying?
No, by winning. I mean, they do say to die it's game, but that's besides the point. You win by beating the Titans.
By beating the Titans.
Yeah, you challenge them to rock, paper, scissors, they lose, it's over. You play rock only, they're all gonna play scissors, they die.
They're like non-intelligent beings.
So I definitely beat the rock, paper, scissors.
You can do the statistics on that and see if that's true.
Yeah.
No, I swear.
You
I
can
know
do it
I
at
think statistically the right answer is scissors, but I always play rock and I never
The
lose.
thing is, the Titans also always play rock.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They don't do this, they don't do paper?
They do.
Actually, they do paper as well.
Okay.
They actually never do
So no
scissors. though.
scissors.
There's
Then
no
scissors is this. Wait, no. Paper would be the strat against them then. So I always play paper and they lose. What can I say? That's how you win
Try
Attack
that.
on Titan. I don't know why they're struggling so hard out here. They just play paper and you win.
Well, actually, sword is the optimal strat because that's what they all use in the show. They all use scissors.
Now they're rolling paper. Come on.
Well, I think
If
scissors.
they play rock, it's over.
No, like rock is like how most of the people die in the first episode.
Yeah, because they're using scissors.
You're actually right. He's right. They were using scissors and they called it killed by rocks. If only they had used like paper, they would have been okay.
Because
the
they
thing
throw
is-
paper airplanes at the Titans.
No, they should just put paper over the top of the wall, and they would have been okay. Cause they, oh man, that's tough. Yeah, the creator didn't think about that. He was too worried about like the nuances about like morality and like the metaphor.
Who needs
for, like,
morality when you got papers?
Yeah. As Aiden would say, every problem is solved by crazy glue. And he's right.
He's right. Yeah.
You can solve any problem with crazy glue.
Brittany's a Maggie. She should know.
Yeah, crazy glue.
To an extent.
What can't you solve with crazy glue?
Well, you probably shouldn't use crazy glue on something that's going to be put under bending stress because it'll just snap off.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, other than that.
Have you ever considered gluing the bending stress?
Oh.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Well, it doesn't really matter. I
Look at this,
mean,
look at this. See, you never have to gel your hair again. You never have to do it again. It's a one-time ordeal.
I didn't even
There's
realize.
nothing,
Jenna was pulling this off.
there's nothing stronger than some crazy glue.
Oh my.
No
I feel
context.
so bad for this person. I know they did it to themselves,
So
but I
stupid.
also like feel bad because they had to go through a lot of pain.
but like, what makes you like
Okay, here's
cross
the
the
problem. Here's the
line?
problem. It says you can't put it on skin, but it didn't say
Put
anything
it on
about
hair.
How would I know? If you can't put it on skin, doesn't mean you can't put it on the hair. I mean, some would say that there is skin on the scalp, but like, who's counting?
Mm.
The doctors.
This is. I have to, as someone who does stupid stuff all the time and faces the consequences for it, I have empathy for people who do stuff like this.
You tell me you've contemplated putting super glue in your hair before?
No, because I don't have any hair.
I mean, I think your head would say otherwise.
No, I don't.
Fair.
You see this hair? It's virtual. Jane edited it.
What's the longest your hair has been?
It's actually gotten quite long to where it was like this long above my head, but because my hair is so curly, if I'm not combing it out consistently, you actually can't see how long it is, so it looks this length all the time. And so it looks like my hair actually isn't growing when it's growing long.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever like make it so that the curls are like defined, or do you just pick it?
What do you... I guess I just pick it.
Okay.
You can define the curls.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
You
I could also
that's-
just go
No,
bald.
because your hair is different.
No, my hair is like the same thing.
That's kind of.
It's
No,
just like
that's
his is just curlier.
That's kind of.
Mine's like the same thing, but like
It's not the same.
No, it's the same.
No. The texture difference between our two hairs is... Wait.
I'm like a
Yeah, I need
two.
to confirm this. Do I have consent to feel your hair?
You have consent to take my hat off.
Sorry, do I
Okay, yes.
wait.
You can touch my hair. Okay, that was a little bit much. That was a little bit much. I wasn't expecting.
My bad.
Put your hands through my hair. Okay.
My bad. I may have violated Ezekiel just now.
I need to know how do you do the one-on-ones. I want to know. I need to know the strats. Because this can't be right now. This can't be.
Maybe it's from pity.
Dang. Is that why you
Sorry,
did it?
Jonathan, no.
Okay.
Dang, they try and pay for his water, and he's like, I would prefer money instead of a gift. They're just like looking at him, just looking at him, and he's like, so tell me, what's your favorite Starburst flavor?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, their heart's just slowly breaking on the inside. And,
Oh my gosh. I think the problem is I'm actually like only a menace around you guys. Like when I'm in these one-on-ones, I'm actually like not a menace because I'm mostly just asking people questions. I don't have the chance to say any menace things.
You know what I noticed though? The best conversators pretend like they're interested in what people are saying, even though they're not. Like it's like I was talking to someone the other day, and I was just saying like my normal nonsense, like normal small talk stuff. But then they were like so interested in what I had to say that it just made me talk more. Normally I don't really continue small talk conversations because I'm a relatively like quiet person. But like this one, they're just like, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about.
Oh, that's
this.
interesting. Tell me more about that.
Exactly like that. And I was like, what is this strategy? I'm talking and I don't even want to talk, but like I need to tell them more because they asked me. And then they're like, oh, and then they asked a question to follow up the previous question. They were like,
that's the strat right there. That's
so
how
like,
you get people to
they're
talk.
like, so what you're telling me is that this occurred, but how does that work? And then I'm like, oh, well, if you want me to tell you how it works, then who's gonna stop me? So
No, asking one of the parts that's like best about active listening is asking like prompting follow-up questions to like prod at what they're getting at, because you can get a very surface level answer, but then if you start asking like prodding questions, you can actually like a really deep and insightful answer about things.
yeah, because like most of the time, but then what happens to me though is then I start thinking to myself, I should be doing this to them. And then I'm trying to think of a way to turn the conversation around so I can ask them a question. But then like it's too late. I've already like gotten down the path. And now they're asking me questions, and I feel like I'm talking too much. But I'm gonna work on that. That's a good goal, I think.
Yeah, we should ask more prompting questions.
Yeah. So does anyone have any Twitter drama, or should we just like find like another quick video, maybe another Trade Rags video, just to react to a couple of things before we continue or end off or whatever?
Wait.
What is this? What's going on?
I think anyone would want to be around if we were to react to the Toxic Sigma stuff.
Yeah, we shouldn't do Toxic Sigma without Aiden.
Yeah.
Twitter drama? Twitter?
Tweet. Toot. Twat.
No.
No?
No.
Careful.
Wait, there.
You're going down the wrong path.
You did it again.
You're descending into
I failed.
yeah.
I actually agree now. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm gone.
It's okay.
I don't exist. I'm in timeout.
Yeah.
I'll be in timeout for a bit.
Oh, sure.
That's okay.
Yeah. So,
So
do you know what happened with Twitter recently?
I did not know what happened to Twitter recently.
I know
Did the
Elon
bird
Musk
die?
Yeah.
fired a whole bunch of people.
That was not recent.
Okay.
That was a while ago. And they're still fired, so that's cool.
Yeah.
We are talking about them though. So what happened recently was Elon Musk made the executive decision to release the source code of Twitter.com. And so because he wants, so basically his goal is to like make it open source, and so then people have already been analyzing the algorithm that Twitter uses in order to like feed you tweets and how engagement works on the platform. And so then like software engineers are like looking at it and be like, oh, that's interesting. It's like pretty like basic stuff, but the goal is that they want it to be known so that people can like give their opinions on it. Because I think they want, because the thing is that right now, like Twitter and like social media is basically like a black box where like you don't know how like things are recommended, and it's basically like then you have the impression that like this big company is controlling the media and controlling what people see. But by making their code like open source, they're trying to make it so that it's like actually like a town square.
Doesn't that hurt like intellectual property though?
Of what? Of their
Of their
company?
code.
So like they didn't release all of it. They released like 70% of it, but they left out integral parts that makes it function, I guess. But like they just released stuff about like how the algorithm works.
Actually,
Like the actual code.
that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Because like that way, like I think that's 100% correct. Like that way, people aren't like, oh, these people are suppressing blah blah blah. It's like, okay, no, it's just like this is how the algorithm works, and like, it is how it is. Unless they did that as a trick so that we would think that they're not suppressing anything.
Have you heard of the Notion competitor?
No, I have Notion competitor. Now I'm a big Notion fan myself. Sponsor me, please. But yeah. Well, what's this about a Notion competitor?
Guys,
Yeah. What's
yeah,
up?
I learned.
Oh,
I failed.
explain.
It's okay.
It's,
I mean,
it's okay.
I think
Okay.
I know.
it's okay. Actually, it's not okay because I want to know how do you do these
I don't
one-on-ones?
know.
How do you do
I
these
keep messing up
one-on-ones?
this badly. I don't know. This is probably like the 4th time. Like if I said any of what I said in a one-on-one, it's actually.
So you're telling me you're really actually a different person on a one-on-one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Remember that one conversation we had?
I do remember.
Yeah. I was not like this.
No, you weren't like this. But like, I don't understand how like you're not like this.
Because, like I said, I focus more on like asking people questions because I want to get at their core to understand them better.
Yeah.
What
Like,
about your core?
No one cares about my core.
I care
Well,
about your core.
yeah.
Well, no one asked me about it.
Dang.
Because you
Then we should
you
start
asked me
doing that.
first.
Yes, you see, you did what that person did to me. Then you can't like answer back because you're asking too many questions.
That is true.
Maybe
I
you
do
should
that.
stop for a second and have an awkward silence, and then it'll cause them
Someone
to ask you a
actually
question.
did that. The person who I was talking about before, who like
Oh, the
I
person
asked
with
to
Trader
Trader
Joe's?
Joe's,
Oh.
they asked me stuff, and that was nice. So,
Gotcha.
open invitation.
Okay.
Don't do it now.
I was gonna say something else, but I got caught off guard by someone actually caring about your feelings.
Dang, I know. It's rough out here, man. I feel you when you say like if you like disappeared for a while, nobody would know.
Yeah. It's tough. That was like me my whole last semester, but this semester I changed that. But it cost me my grades, so that's okay. No, that's how it is. You either have friends or you have good grades.
Wait,
I
we
chose
could talk
friends.
about this low key. I feel like this is like a good podcast topic.
Okay, we can come back to that in a second. I just want to see what this is because I'm a big Notion fan myself, and I don't know how I could. What is this? Okay.
Say goodbye to the frustration of jumping between apps and
Yeah,
losing track
I
of
have this
documents and
frustration.
ideas. Microsoft Loop
Oh
transforms
no, it's
the
my
way you work,
Microsoft. Oh,
so you can think, plan, and create together like never before.
god.
Loop is made up of workspaces, pages,
no shit. This can't be. You copied the code.
Let's break it down. Create together with shared workspaces
No
for
way.
each of your projects.
This can't be. These are the same UI
Access
too.
all your existing workspaces and create new ones.
No.
In a Loop workspace, you can bring everything you need for your project together in one place. To kick off a workspace, Loop can even do the searching for you, making it easy to add existing project-related information and organize it into pages. Continue adding to your workspace as your project evolves and organize it the way you want. Loop pages are flexible canvases where you can react, comment, and build on each other's ideas.
I mean, to be fair, it's actually really good for like working together. Which I think Notion
Notifications
is like
help
a
you
little worse
track the
at.
things you care about and focus on what matters, all while
We should
staying
make one of
in
this for the
flow of
elevator
your work.
podcast.
These are after this.
Yeah.
Copilot in Loop helps you ideate and co-create.
Then
Oh,
this
this is
one.
Copilot.
Get inspired with
No.
AI-powered contextual suggestions to transform the way you create together.
Okay.
Don't let app
Multiple choice.
barriers slow your project down. Easily share information with people outside your workspace with Loop components. Components are portable pieces of content that stay in sync across all the places they have been shared, no matter where they are updated.
Wait,
You
that's
can share
kind of crack.
components
That's
and
kinda
create
That's
new
actually
ones,
crack.
like
Notion doesn't have
lists,
that.
No. This is really good for collaborating. We should make one for this podcast.
paragraphs, and
Oh,
more.
so we're not getting sponsored
Across
by
your
Notion.
favorite Microsoft 365
Oh no,
apps.
Notion's a different thing.
You're
I
always
still
in
want
control
sponsored by
because it's
Notion. I
easy
use
to
it
see
every day
where
for
components were shared
notes
and
and
who
class.
has
That was
access.
terrible.
However you work, wherever you work, Loop enables teams to think, plan,
I actually don't know if they heard us at
So
all
I think-
because that was so loud.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what?
But anyways, Notion sponsor me.
No. We just watched
We,
a promotional
I
content.
feel like the two big companies that you love this to be sponsored by are Notion and Apple. Apple's never gonna happen, but Notion could.
Apple's never sponsoring me, but they'll pay me at some point.
They will. I'm confident in that.
I
You
didn't
get
I
hired?
did it with that. What?
You trying to get hired?
I'm trying to get hired.
Yeah.
You have to do a project
Yeah.
immediately.
No, I'll just join a quant firm real quick.
Ooh,
Easy.
that's kind of fun.
Easy?
And with your 6 triple 04 now, we think easy.
Yeah, it's not like I failed the exam in that class.
No,
That never happened.
that never
You
happened.
did too.
I passed the class though. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
This semester I can change my entire mindset. Like I talked to my parents today because it was like Easter. My parents were like, "How you do?" I'm like, "Guys, listen. I realized that I wasn't cut out for this, so you know, I'm just gonna accept the failures as they come, and I'm gonna push through. Yeah.
Understandable. Should we talk about the other thing?
Oh yeah, you were saying something. I forgot
Yes.
immediately.
I feel like so many people have expressed to me that sometimes they feel like left out of stuff and like that people don't really care about them that much. And I think partially it's just because people actually just don't have the bandwidth to care about people sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Like
Especially here.
Oh well, yeah. I think at most like upper level colleges, I think it's a big problem at Stanford as well. That's what I've heard. But I think it's just like, yeah. First of all, like, it's just a lot of work. So that in combination with also having to deal with someone else or a bunch of other people is like pretty challenging. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. That's all I said.
That's valid.
That's just valid.
I would love to hear everyone's experiences on this if we're open to sharing.
On what?
On how, whether you have felt like isolated at this school and like nobody cared for you at any point.
I'll go first.
You'll go first?
Yeah.
Oh, he's about to go.
I'll
We should
go.
save you for last, I feel like, because you have some. I feel like your arc is like probably pretty crazy.
Okay.
Oh, me? Yeah. I mean, the only experience was like pretty much at my frat last year, but then that's resolved.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's
Do
great.
you want to elaborate or no?
I mean, well, the
You don't
only
have to.
I can.
Okay.
It's just not interesting because it was just because I had not spent as much time around them as otherwise. But generally, I don't really feel like. Well, at least at this point, I feel like I've just always had people, regardless.
Mm.
Because like I could just go back to the people.
What about the people in League of Legends? Where are
The people what?
in League of Legends? Where are they now?
The people who I played League of Legends with.
Yeah.
They're at a different school. And I talk to them occasionally.
You used to talk to them on League of Legends though.
Sometimes.
What happened to that? Why don't you send them a message on League?
They still play League.
Yeah. You don't play anymore?
No, I actually stopped. Yeah. I
Oh, you stopped?
Yeah.
What was the catalyst for this?
Ezekiel, you always do this. You're always trying to expose this.
I need to know. I need to know.
You're
'Cause,
always
like,
trying to expose someone for
this
something
guy was
like that.
really high ranked.
You're trying
and
to
he
expose someone for something.
He invested a lot of money into League.
And
And he
you
was
were-
even
There's a lot of it for
considering.
the time now.
He was even considering like being a streamer and doing League
Anyways.
like full time.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
suddenly stopping seems like a huge life change.
Anyways,
I want to know.
Anyways, thank you for sharing, anonymous person behind the camera. We appreciate it, your contribution to society. And if you ever feel alone,
Go on League.
He's so right. He's so right. But I feel like
I'm done.
Yeah.
It's over.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who wants to go next?
How about you go next?
I should go next.
Yeah, we care about your feelings. We want to know your deep inner core.
TLDR is, I currently feel at this moment in time that I know a lot of different people, but none of them close enough to the point where they'd actually be concerned if they stopped seeing me, if that makes sense. Even like people I do know kind of closely, I don't see them very much. So like if I was gone for a week, they actually would have no idea probably. So this has been something I've been thinking about a lot, like where I can find these close friends who I can like share things, like my deepest thoughts with, if that makes sense. So that's where I'm at.
I want to let you know that if you stop texting the chat, I would notice.
You definitely would.
Yeah, because it'd be like a day would pass, and I would think to myself, "Dang, nothing out of pocket was said." There'd be like an emptiness in my soul, and I'd be like, "No, what happened to JP?" And then I'd be texting him.
Thank you. I appreciate that, I think.
Remy?
Is the scope limited to only being at MIT?
No.
Yeah, I think when I was doing dance.
You did dance?
Yes.
How did I not know this about you? I'm gonna ask
Because you didn't ask enough questions at the one-on-one.
Damn,
I'm pretty sure
that's
this has
pretty.
been disclosed before.
I need to. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask you about this afterwards. Remind me to
You can ask
you
me
about
now.
that.
I don't care.
But we want to focus on the deep discussion.
Yeah. They'll send you like a when to meet, and you can do another one-on-one.
No, whenever I did dance at the studio I was at, I felt pretty like isolated, and I felt like I was just going through the motions there. But luckily, I don't think I've had any moments here. I mean, perhaps I've had moments, but I've never had like straight up I felt like nobody cared about me at all.
Mm.
Only like a select few, which I think is like normal for there to be a select few to be that way. But no, in dance I felt like it was straight up like zero.
Mm. That's good.
My turn?
Yes.
Well, I won't get like too deep with it because I could go on and on and on about this.
Yes. I've
Maybe
heard,
on
I've heard the
one-on-one.
arcs. I've heard the arcs.
Maybe on a one-on-one. But I don't know, I think for most of my life, maybe because I spent a lot of my childhood growing up by myself, and I also lived, because of redistricting and all that stuff, I lived very far away from my friends. I've spent a lot of my time by myself, which was okay as a child because I read a lot of books and watched a lot of TV shows. So my best friends were the characters in the books and the characters in the TV shows. And when those people were like, when I finished reading the book, then my parents would come home and they'd be like, oh, what did you do today? I'm like, oh, I read this cool book. And they would like sit down and listen to me for hours, which I very much appreciate. But I've always had a problem with like going to school and feeling like I belong within the group because I spent so much time alone. I just felt like I wasn't able to communicate myself properly. As I got older, I became more concerned with the fact that even though I was able to communicate myself, that people wouldn't like the self that I was communicating because I felt I was so different than most other people, especially like with the way I thought. Like for me, a big priority was becoming, or maybe not becoming successful, but a big priority for me was doing something that would leave a legacy, that was something that's impactful. And as Aaron Yeager would say, because I was born, and this whole statement about because I was born is like, it's like because I was born, I've been given like this opportunity to do something, like anything, and so I have to try. And this notion of having to try to do something consumed basically my entire life going through the lower level schools. So it didn't really matter to me. I was like, whatever, people are a side quest. I can talk to people later, which is a mentality I've always had. Like, you can do work now so you can have fun later. But this is actually a semi-bad idea. It's good when you have a little bit of work because then you just get all the work done and then you can do whatever later. But when the work is infinite, which life is, then you end up working permanently and never having fun later. But this was not something that occurred to me because the workload in high school was actually non-infinite. So I actually did get to finish the work at some point. And then I would be able to have fun by like going back to my TV shows and stuff. But then I came here, and I was absolutely terrified because I was 100% certain that no one here was going to like me. And the only possibility is that if everyone here was like me, then they would understand me, and then therefore they would like me, which is also a deciding factor why I came here, because like, oh, people will be like me. Mm. But then immediately, on the first day I came here, I realized that there aren't very many people like me. So then I was like, okay, this is it. Like, there's no way I want to make any friends. But then I met Jaden, and then a few other people. And because it's freshman year, we all shared classes. It was really easy to make friends. And that was cool because we all did our P-sets together, we all did stuff together. So I didn't really have any problems with that. Mm. But then sophomore year hit, and we all had different classes. Mm. And all of a sudden I was like, dang, where did all my friends go? Mm. And then I was like, I'll just make new friends. But then everyone else already had friends. And I wasn't comfortable just like jumping my way into other friend groups. So I decided, okay, well, let's go back to working. So I just worked the entire time. I didn't talk to any, like, I'd go like a whole week without ever talking to another person, like ever. Unless it was for a P-set where I would do like a transactional type of conversation where it's like, this is what I got, tell me what you got. They weren't actually in-depth conversations, which I think people need, just the opportunity to talk to other people in depth and let like your thoughts out and allow someone to evaluate that and help you work through some of those thoughts. So I was really struggling with that socially. And at that point, I was 100% certain that since everyone was so busy with all the work they had to do, especially here at this school, like everyone's working stuff, I was like, dang, if I don't talk to people for a whole week, and that's just like my normal day basis, that means if I went missing for a whole week, no one would know I went missing. The only people who may notice would be the people who do my P-set with me, but they wouldn't have like genuine concern. They'd just be like, oh, they didn't show up to the P-set group, or whatever. So then that became pretty concerning to me. There's a few other nuances that I won't like go into detail with, but anyways, this is like, I guess it's an overall fear of mine. Just like, eventually everyone will just randomly leave. Not randomly, everyone has their own lives. So people just eventually get too in deep with their lives. And because I'm not social enough, then therefore I'll just be all alone. And then when I need help with something, everyone else is dealing with their problems, so they won't have time to help me, and I'll just be all alone. So this became a big concern for me. And then the more I tried to talk with people, the more I was like, I'm really bad at communicating with people, and I have real problems with just getting severe anxiety when it comes to just like randomly going up and talking to another person, like to the point where just like I'll think about every possible negative like before I do it, most actions anyways. I think about all the possible options that could occur, and if it has more pros than cons, then I'll go and do it. But with talking to people, it's so random and sporadic that 99% of the time there's no way that the pros will outweigh the cons. So I end up just not doing it, and then I get upset with myself that I didn't do it, and then that makes like a whole cycle. But anyways, towards the end of the semester, I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna go and talk to people, and that started to improve my semester. So in this semester, I made a complete like 180 shift, where I was like, maybe not 180. That's a bit extreme. I didn't become like an extrovert, but I decided that I'm gonna make an effort to go talk to people, and I have to make it in such a way that it provides some kind of benefit to me that makes it such that I feel like I'm working towards my goals while also talking to people. And I had like 3 pretty big goals this semester. Number 1 was to start fostering and optimizing the things that I do, such that I feel like I'm setting up myself for opportunities that I actually want outside of college. Because I was so obsessed last semester with the work that I was doing, even though most of it I felt was relatively meaningless. Like, you forget a piece set in a week, but you don't forget the meaningful relationships that you have with people. So I realized that those things are more important to me, like having meaningful relationships or building something that I can call my own and look at and say, that I made that. So I want to start optimizing the things that I was doing such that after a week, I still remember it. After 2 weeks, I still remember it. After I leave this school, I can still look at it and say, that was a valuable time. So that was the first goal. The second goal was to strengthen my relationship with the friends I already have, to build like stronger fellowship. So I had a group of people where we work off each other so that we become better people. I wanted to have like an actual really good group of friends. I grew up watching all these TV shows. I'll use Stranger Things because a lot of people know Stranger Things. But you see this group of people where they're such good friends that they would do anything for each other. And I've never like really felt that sort of connection with people. And this sounds bad to the people I'm friends with back at home, but like I guess from my perspective, I never really I've always, because I've isolated myself purposely, I never really felt that was the case. But I wanted to start building relationships like that. And the third one was to meet new people, because how would I know that maybe I'm missing out on a relationship like the ones I've already said, like actual beneficial. Well, there's something that Ian said in one of the previous episodes. They're like in biology when they're like mutually
mutual.
Symbiotic.
Yeah, like symbiotic.
Well, there are different types of symbiotic relationships, but a mutual means that there's benefits for both.
Yeah, like so I wanted to have mutual relationships. So I was like I want outreach and meet new people, because I could be there could be someone like right there next to me in my dorm that I've never talked to, that could be an opportunity for me to have a really strong relationship that I could have outside this college and could foster something that would be a lot greater than just me by myself. So I haven't successfully really done too much of that, but I definitely made an effort to talk to more people. Like I actually know the people in my section of the dorm, even though I've been living in the same section for nearly 2 years now. Like I actually kind of know the people now there. And once in a while, I'll do this crazy thing. I don't know if you guys ever tried this before, but you could talk to the person next to you in the lecture hall, and then you can like talk to them about the stuff you're doing in class. It's crazy. I never knew you could do this.
I do that.
So yeah. No way. You're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started talking to people like next to me in the lecture halls. If I'm randomly sitting next to someone like awkwardly because like you're waiting for like class to start or something like that, maybe I'll ask them like how's their day going, simple things like that. And even though they're like meaningless conversations, by me like starting these conversations, which were extremely difficult for me, it sort of desensitizes me to the fear of actually doing it. I think I heard somewhere in psychology that we're born afraid of everything. Everything around us we're scared of. And we actually have to learn to not be afraid. And I think that's a really profound thing. People often think like, oh, I'm scared of this, or like I can't do this, and therefore like I just won't do it. But in reality, we can learn to not be afraid by pushing ourselves outside of our limits and slowly increasing the difficulty of these things. So I've been taking steps to just like slowly increase my ability to talk to people, and hopefully it's working out. I also think that, I think I may have skipped over this, but actually I didn't skip over it. But I think that it's been working a lot. And the second thing I talked about, like or I guess the first two things about like building strong relationships with my friends, and also the first thing about building things that I thought were important, is hence why I decided to start doing this podcast, because I thought that the skills I learned in this, even if it's not beneficial to me like in a business way, it makes me like do something that I can point and say that I made that, and that's something that I can point to that I've
There
done.
it is.
And the second thing is that it forces me to actually talk to the people I already know and I'm friends with, and helps foster stronger relationships with that, where we can all like just like have fun and interesting conversations. So this podcast is sort of the solution to my problems. The third one was just like, outreaching to different people. It's sort of networking, which I really struggle with, but I think should be getting better at eventually. And I think that by doing this, since I listen back to these to help edit some of the videos and cut them into clips and try and optimize our SEO or like our production, I've listened to how I talk, and I noticed that there are certain habits that I have that are extremely annoying. And so now I think that over time I've actually improved in speaking. So I noticed that now when I talk to people just on a normal basis, I actually speak differently because I'm more conscious of how I speak. I don't just randomly spiel about random stuff anymore. I still do it sometimes. Like I mess up and say like too many times, where I stutter over my words because I'm thinking faster than my mouth moves. But now, before I talk, I slow down a lot more and speak a little bit slower and think about what I'm gonna say before I say it. So yeah.
I can definitely relate to that thing. I think like on every podcast, my laughter sounds fake, which is kind of sad.
Have you become more conscious of your laughter?
Yes, I've actually significantly reduced the amount that I laugh.
I have noticed that.
You can laugh if you want.
Anyways,
Laughter is good.
laughter is medicine,
Yes.
but not fake laughter.
I knew I talked too long because now I got a cough.
That's crazy. How long was he talking? Did you keep track of that?
Probably like 10 minutes.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's good. It didn't feel like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was not surprised. That did not surprise me.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry for talking for so
No,
long.
no, you're
No,
fine.
that's good.
No,
I think
and
that's
you know
good.
what's funny?
That's good.
You said that was that short spiel, bruh. That means you have like an hour-long lecture.
You have no idea. You have no idea. Last semester, I was having a mental breakdown.
Oh, no.
Like, there were times when I would just like walk into the bathroom
Oh,
and
right. This is the one-on-one. I remember that.
yeah, sometimes I would just like walk into the bathroom and it'd be flooded. Just like flooded with just like nasty stuff. And like I was just so down that I just stand in the doorway, just frozen. And in the inside, I'm just like breaking down with just pure rage. And I'll just like punch the wall, I'll slam the door and just start screaming on the top of my lungs. And I'll just like fall on the ground, just lay in the puddle of like whatever nastiness and just like scream. Because I'd be so upset, like why is it like this?
King.
And I haven't done that this semester, so I think it's a lot better now.
King.
Anyways, that's my story.
You didn't tell me that.
Oh, I did? I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, you told me about a lot of things when we were like.
I don't remember what we talked about.
I think we had talked about like your stance and like people's level of consideracy for other people
Oh yeah.
a lot, and like you talked about a lot about what you just like talked about now about like feeling isolated.
Yeah. I think I've learned to have a deeper appreciation for other people. Like, before I was joking around, I was like, I can't understand why people do this. I still don't understand. But I now just accept it as a premise of life that people just don't care. And therefore, I've become more satisfied with my life. Because I know that if no one else cares, right, then I have one of two options. I can also not care, or I can start and try and make a little difference. And rather than get upset about what everyone else is doing, I should just do something. Like, rather than be like, oh, the world is so against me, I can just instead say, what can I do to make my life a little bit better and the people around me lives a little bit better, instead of complaining about what everyone else is doing. Because I can't control what they do, but I can control what I do. So I think that sort of shifting that perspective has made me maybe stop hating the people that I'm surrounded with each and every day. I think I've had a deeper appreciation for those people around me now. So,
I also think the not caring streak goes both ways. It's not people being malicious. It's just like people sometimes don't have the bandwidth to care or to notice. And so, at least for me, I overthink the things that I do a lot. We talked about like things that I've been having mental breakdowns.
You don't think about the one-on-ones too much, do you?
No, I was not, and now I am, and I'm gonna be so conscious about that for a very long time. But that's besides the point. But what's nice about people not caring is that, like Brittany said, people probably do not care that much that I did that thing, and like it came across that way. So that's kind of a relief. Probably did not like offend anyone or make anyone
I
like.
learned about this in the PE fitness and resilience class. we talked about like over something, like over. I forget the word, but just basically when you think that the thing that you did is like in people's minds more than it actually is, and therefore like you're extremely embarrassed or upset by something you've done, when in reality people are concerned about their own lives and they immediately forget like the simple stupid thing that you did.
Yeah. They also forget the nice things that you do, which is...
Well, it depends, because like people remember the really awful things you do and the really really good things you do.
Yeah.
So like if you did something just like complete, like every time I hold the door open for someone, no one cares, right? But if I did something actually extraordinary that like actually helped someone, then they would remember that.
Mm.
But you know what does surprise me? How many people are so like into like their like phone or technology, like music or a video that they're watching, that they don't have any awareness of anything around them. Like I'll be walking and say for example I'm going through the door. Doors, like often there's a lot of glass doors here. I look at the reflection of the door and see there's someone behind me. And therefore, without turning around, I know that I'm gonna, instead of going in first and holding the door open, I'm just gonna stand on the outside and hold the door open for them so they can get inside, right? But other people who have the same capability as me to just see the reflection of the person who's staying literally right behind them, or they can hear like your footsteps, but obviously they can't hear because they're wearing headphones. They just don't. And people also like either like slam door opens or like open it just enough for them to get in. So then what happens is just like I either get slammed in the face with the door, or the door slams in front of me, and I'm like, this can't be. But as I said, I have a deep appreciation for people. I recognize that, like, you know, I too get obsessed with Attack on Titan, and sometimes I'm trying to watch it and I don't know that there's someone behind me, even though it's never happened yet, but it could happen at some point.
It sounds like you have not gotten a deeper appreciation from that one comment, but I don't know.
No, it's a deeper appreciation. I didn't say it's a complete and total appreciation. There are still things that get me upset.
I understand. Do you have opinions on this? Okay.
Nice.
Good for you. How about you?
My favorite thing, okay, this is the one thing that actually got on my nerves. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast before, but I'm going to mention it again because I actually couldn't believe it. This is actually egregious. So basically, as I said before many times, that the shower floods in the bathroom, okay? So basically, I thought to myself one day, what if I just put the sign inside the shower? Then they can't shower in there, right? But I said, no, I won't do that because, like, that's taking it too far. But someone else had the same idea as me. And I thank this person because, man, like, that's a great idea. So one of the people who I don't know who did it, but someone put the sign into shower. It says, do not shower. It floods the bathroom inside the shower, right? So you're thinking to yourself, paper gets wet. You wouldn't want to get the paper wet, so people won't take a shower. When in order to get into the shower, they have to read the sign, unless they're just like illiterate, which can't be because they go here. They can't be illiterate. That's not true. But I thought to myself, the solution is solved. But that very night, after someone put it up in the morning, not only was the floor flooded, the sign was flooded, which meant out of sheer spite of the person putting it in the shower, someone showered in there just to flood the bathroom. And that's the only solution I could think of. It couldn't be that they were like, oh, you know, there's no showers left. And you want to know how I know that? Because all the showers were open when I went to the bathroom, and like when it was closed, right? Because I went in before.
Mm-hmm.
There was no water on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went back.
Mm-hmm.
It was closed.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went to the bathroom because I was like, okay, I still need to like go brush my teeth and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to go brush my teeth and whatever. All the showers were open.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went back,
Mm-hmm.
right, just to like check, right? I don't know why I went to go back and check, but I went back to check, and it was flooded now. Which therefore means, by simple mathematics here, or simple logic, I would say, that someone saw that all the bathrooms, someone didn't even check that if the other bathrooms were open. They just went straight into there just to take a shower.
That's real.
Yeah. Anyways,
I've taken a shower in there and it has not flooded.
you're telling me you're one of them? You're one of them?
I did it once to try and not be late for my PE class. I had class after,
Oh.
and so I was like, I have to. But then it didn't flood.
Yeah.
I made sure it didn't
Because you're
flood.
competent, right?
Yeah. Because like, you just have to have the thing.
The shower curtain in the shower.
shower curtain in the shower and then the thing.
No,
flooded,
because
you know?
this time, when I went in there, because it was also flooded this morning, someone rolled up the shower curtain onto the pole so that there was no shower curtain.
That's actually.
So like I'm just like convinced that there's a menace. There's just a straight menace. Who's every day they see the sign, they're like, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? And they just do it. They just do it.
They want to see themselves while they're showering.
Wait,
What?
Loki, I forgot how funny like you are, and I feel like you taking a PE is probably like what essay to witness.
Wow. Okay.
No wait, can you imagine Jaden playing pickleball?
Who is Jaden?
My bad.
No, you're good.
Can you imagine like this guy playing pickle? Like if you'd actually like been able to do the pickleball, that would have been crazy.
Did you finish the pickleball class?
Yes. Or no.
Oh, he didn't even
show
start.
up.
I had a 0% in the class. Like, I think my attendance, I got a 0%. I should have went.
Yes, you should have.
Why couldn't you drop it?
I don't know.
You
It's
could have.
on my campus
That would have been
now,
so funny. You would have. I feel like that would have been
It
really
would
funny.
have been
That would have been
Yeah.
really funny.
I'm becoming more athletic now.
Brittany was also funny, but it was a different type of funny.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Then why'd you say
But
it?
yeah.
I don't know. It was funny.
Okay, I understand it.
Like as someone who was like, never mind. I'm gonna stop.
Alright, how long have we been going for? Probably too
1
long.
hour 30.
It's been a.
Oh, yeah, it
It's
sounds like
been
it's time to
a
die.
long day
Are there any other?
without you, my friends. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Alright, that's all. I think we're done. Yeah, that's it. Alright, you got any moral of the story? I don't know what the moral of the story is.
Are there
I
any
think-
outstanding questions on it?
I think
Comments, questions, profound revelations, as my history teacher once
the
said.
moral of the
always
story
says.
is you shouldn't say anything to anyone because you will always fail.
The moral of the
That's not a very
story
good
is that you should start doing
It's the
one-on-ones.
moral for me.
Because when you have one-on-ones, you learn a lot about people in very short periods of time. So next time you see a random person, just give them your one to meet, and you'll be good to go.
Mm.
Remember to offer them a coffee and a croissant, no matter who they are. It always
Offer them
goes
money instead.
Just drop them money. Actually, yeah. Just like go up to a random person, write a card, but don't like put anything profound on the card. So it's just generic. Just
No,
put
don't
money.
even buy the card. That's a waste of money right
That is a
there.
waste of money.
You just give them money to replace the card. You want to write? You can write a little note on the money if you want. Like if you want them to get like a message, but like at least then they have the money.
Now I know what to get you for your birthday.
Thank you.
Not money.
No, yeah, now I know what not to get you for your birthday.
You're not gonna get me money.
No. All right,
So
that's all.
sad.
I think that's it. Okay, see you guys next week. Bye.
Boy.